Okay. So to edit the D-SNP charts, again, to find the D-SNP charts, we go to the volunteer resources page um, on my SHIBA, and then we go to the counseling clients section. And we have the counseling tools and resources, and we're going to do the 2026 all counties D-SNP because again, we're looking at 2026 plans. And we can open that, and the first thing I like to do is save it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Susan. I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm not feeling too well today. Sorry about that. All right. So we have our chart and we have our plan list, and this is the full plan list. I actually like to keep this intact even when I'm low creating my plan lists for counties. And how you choose to do this is, up to you because it's going to be your chart. But I'm going to save, the first thing I like to do is save it on my hard drive. And I'm just going to put it save. Okay. And then what I do is I keep this full plan list intact so that I always have the master plan list for the whole state. If you're only doing one county, what you could do is you could go through and make an all plan list for your county, or you could, and each of these tabs, you could do the list for each of the tabs, right, for your county only. So we were doing Thurston County. And so what I'm going to do is what I would do is I would take the full plan list and I'm going to make a copy of it. So, but you do this by clicking on the tab. And the first thing I like to do is just make a copy of it. And you right click and you get the drop down menu and you can move or copy. And I'm doing this as I'm writing up these instructions for you too. So they'll go out with the email and the link to the video. But you can see you get this pop-up and you can create a copy. And then I'm going to do it before the plan list. So I have see my plan list too here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I can't really make it bigger and have my tabs get bigger, but anyway. All right, so we have the plan list and I'm going to show you how to do one. We'll do Thurston County. So then you can right click on the tab again to rename the tab. Okay, and let's do Thurston just as an example. And that's the county that we're going to do. And so this is my tab list for Thurston County. Now I do a bunch of counties, so I like to just have one tab for each county. I won't do one for each of these tabs, but you could, if you're only doing one county, you could just turn each of these, you could do this for each page and you could, you could do the plans down to being plans only for that county out of your full plan lists that are here. So we have Thurston, we're going to do Thurston County. And so what we're going to do is we go down to, oh my goodness. Alrighty. Well, we're going to click, I'm going to right click on or I'm sorry, left click on the row over in the left-hand column. You do it in the row and it will highlight the whole row. You can see how it just did it here. And I'm just left clicking. And then we can go up to conditional formatting. Hopefully you can see that in the top in the center of Excel. And you can do what's called a highlight cells rule. Okay, this is going to highlight cells. It's going to highlight the cells for whatever rule we're telling it. And we want it to do text, right? Because we're looking for a text for a county name. And you can see it did what's in the first cell as a default, but we're going to type in Thurston that we only want the ones with Thurston. And you guys saw me do this kind of quickly on the other chart and see how it went blank. So it did all of them. And now we have Thurston and it's going to only highlight the cells. Oh my goodness, sorry. It's only going to highlight the cells that are Thurston County. So we have column E is not, you can right click, you can go to the top, just like we clicked on the number on the side over here to get the whole row. You can click on the top and column E is King Snohomish. We want to delete that. We can we can right click on that on our mouse and we can delete that column. Okay, and we can go through our list and delete all of the columns that Thurston is not on. Okay, right click, delete. In Excel, you can also do F4 and it'll repeat your last command. And because I did a delete column, I can hit F4 and it's just going to delete it for me too. But just be careful when you're doing that, your last command was what you wanted to, what you really want to do. Okay, so now we have our list for Thurston County. And for me, who does multiple counties, this is the county I would use for Thurston, and then we'd get their eligibility level. We'd find that out whether we're verifying it ourselves with the job aid that Linda shared in the chat earlier, or if we have their letter, they know their eligibility level, and then we can hide. I would use this and hide because my chart that I make for myself has 18 counties across the bottom. So I don't want to have 4 tabs for each county, right? So I just make one county tab, and then I'm going to hide it like I did earlier. If I have QMB only, then I can do these and I can highlight my cells. And I'm doing QMB in a comma because that's how it is. And then it's going to highlight my cells that are, see how it doesn't do the QMB plus, it does QMB comma. And I can hide the plans that are not for QMB only. All right. And you could do this if you're, like I said, if you're only doing one county, you could do this for the additional levels too. And then you would have customized charts. Some of the RTCs do this for their sponsors. As Linda said, she sent them out to some of her sponsors. Some of the sponsors have people who do this within the organization. So unless you want to practice this and learn it, before you spend time doing it, you might want to check with your VC and see if someone in your organization does it for your area. But if you wanted to tweak it further, those are the basics of adjusting your chart. Does anyone have any questions? All right. That's it. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope that this has helped you. A lot of it is like everything else, right? That you just practice and you get used to it and it gets easier.
Thanks, Noreen.
Yeah. Have a good day, Maureen.
Thanks, Noreen. And you said you're going to send a follow-up email with some of the resources and then the links to the recording. Is that right?
Yes.